Sorry for the interruption there. I got a phone call right in the middle of my recording, so it's okay. This recording was getting really long anyway, so this is part 2 now. So continuing on where we were going from 3 down to L now. So taking that dimension there, the 3L, and I'm going to bring that down to the baseline here on the L line. Stick my needle in, mark it across 90 degrees from there. This one is going to be 3L. Then I'm going to take that measurement there from the amount of fall on 3 profile, and I'm going to subtract it off the L line now. So that's this profile, and always go from the outside in. And that is 3L. I'm going to use that hypotenuse from 3 to 3L, 3L, 3L. And now going from 3 down to where L will be. I'm going to do the same on this side. Now using my Angor here. So I'm going from K to L. So K to L is over here. And do it the same on this side. There, L and H. Next we're going to go, so we've done that one now, so now we're going up this line here from L to 2, and it's going to be the same thing going all the way across. I might not explain each one of these. I'm going to just go all the way through until we get to the very end, because that's where it gets confusing again. So L to 2. And again, drag that dimension here down to the baseline, swing it along here. It lands on the same as 3K, so that's going to be L or L2. Now I'm going to take this larger profile here, 6 to 2, or the difference, the amount of fall on that 2 line, and I subtract it off of the L line here from the outside in. And then stick my needle there, and the hypotenuse becomes my true length. And then I'm going from L up to 2. And the same on this side. Now I'm going from 3 to 2. Oops, need this page. Hopefully this isn't too confusing with 3 different pages. I just really wanted to be able to show in a decent size so you could see what was going on. If I made this too small, it'd be even more confusing. So that one's 2, this one's 6. And I'm just gonna carry on now. So now I need to go from 2 down, where we're following, we just did that line, so now this one here, we're going this way down to here. So 2 to A. So 2 to A, I'm gonna bring it down to the base here, swing it on there. To A. Take this length there and subtract it off of the A one now. So from the outside in, to A, and my needle there. To A is my true length now. Now L to A. Oops. And that one's G. All right. Now, take this line and we're gonna go up to 1 now, A to 1. A to 1, bring it down to the baseline. Swing it in here. See, now you can see it's really getting jumbled in here. A1. I'm going to use the 1. And subtract it off of there. A1. Damn. Take my A1 to A1. A up to 1. Do the same on this side. And 2 to 1. Right there. And 7. Okay. So we went A to 1, now we're going to go 1 down to B. So that's where it's really, really important to know where you've been and where you're going to. If you get lost in this screen, this page here, and you're like, oh, which one was I going to again? Just refer to your main drawing here. So I did A to 1. Now I got to go 1 down to the next letter, right? So 1 down to B, or 7 down to, where am I? 7 down to F. Yeah, so 1 down to B. I'm gonna take that measurement there, bring it down to the baseline of B, swing an arc, one B, take the profile of 1, subtract it off of the B line here, the profile of B. One B. So that is my length there. Go back to my main pattern. And 1 to B. Then you got my A to B, step off there. Now we're going to be going back up again. So now B goes to 12. Take that measurement of B12 down to the B line. Oh, that's same as that one. B12. Take my profile length of 12. That one there. Subtract it off of B. B12. B12 to B12. And B up to 12. And then I need 1 to 12 here. So step off. 1 to 12. 7 to 8. Now we're going 1 up to 12, so now we're going to go 12 down to C. The other thing you can tell here too, if you've noticed, all of these here should have 2 numbers on them other than the first one you did, because the one has no profile to subtract off of there. So all these middle ones should all have 2 measurements on them. If you ever have one in the middle here that only has 1 or it has 3, then you've made a mistake. So keep in mind that each one of these should have 2. Okay, so now C12, write that down to the base. C12. Profile of 12. Take that off of C. Now this one here, I end up going above the baseline a little bit. It doesn't really matter as long as I take a measurement 90 degrees to that point, and there is a 90-degree line above and below. So this profile ends up being a little bit smaller or bigger than this one. As long as I'm using that hypotenuse off of there, it still is fine. So that one there is there. So C12. Yeah, so now I can just stick my needle there, go to my C12 here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know my hands are in the way most of the time on this. So 12 down to C. And B to C. We're getting close now. Okay, so now we're gonna go C to 11. Now we're working our way along. I know the process is a lot of work here and it takes a lot of time. That's why I pre-did as much as I could. Okay, C to 11, go down to the base here. I have another one where it kind of holds in the same spot. C11. So now I'm going to take the profile of 11 here. It's a nice little short one. Subtract it off of C. C11. So C11. And go C to 11. Twelve to 11. All right, we're just right at the end here now. So now we're gonna go 11 to D. So this is where you really need to pay attention. 11 to D. Now, if you notice, there's no profile really on D there. So I'm gonna be swinging it off this line here. So instead of taking it down here, I'm gonna move my needle up to this point, still using that same dimension, 11 to D, but I'm gonna bring it down parallel to 11 here, 90 degrees down. D. And because there's no point there, there's nothing, there's no fall. Don't consider this part of the fall. Just this is going to be a single point for now, just that D. So I'm not going to subtract anything off this one. I'm going to use the full height of here. So I'm gonna stick my needle at the outside edge and sorry, I gotta go this way. Everything's moving around too much. So anyway, that's, once I get that dimension there, that's my hypotenuse now. 11 to D. And I'm just gonna put it on here. 11 to D. And I get my C to D. So we have a D on either side here now. All right, so those are the big Ds. Now we have to go now we're going D to 10. And again, this is a single point, right? So hold on, just get this measurement here. So that D to 10 there, that would be the very last measurement I need. But I'm not, oh, it's kind of hard to explain. So on this D to 10 one, I am gonna take this one down to the D here and swing a mark in here. So D10 actually also follows this 4K one. D10. And there is a certain amount of fall because this measurement I'm taking here is not right to the center of that gore. I'm going on, it's basically this point here. I have to go from this point back to the center, like I'm going from the outside of the straight section back to the center of the round section. So there is a section of fall in there. So if I take that length there, bring it to the baseline, make a mark there, and then I'm gonna use this amount of fall here to triangulate, get a hypotenuse on there. It's not much of a difference, but it's really important. So taking that D10 there, and to get my very last point. Get my 10 and 11. Okay, so now the round part is all done. We've gone all the way around to get from 4 all the way to 10, so that part's done. But we don't have our the half of this straight, right? In the very middle of the pattern, we add a little piece of the section of straight that's going to be on the bottom collar. Makes that little triangle in the very back. In the throat section, there's also going to be a little triangle, but because the seam is right in the middle of it, we're going to basically have half a triangle going up and half a triangle going up. So then when it comes together, it makes that full triangle. Hopefully this is making sense when I'm explaining it. It doesn't sound like it when the words come out of my mouth, but so now I'm basically using this true length that's here, 10 to D, but this is going to be 10 to small d. So I'm going to take that measurement right there, just the true length right there, and then I go from 10 to small d, 10 to small d, right? And then I'm going from big D to small d. Big D to small d. Or basically just an inch, right? Big D to small d. Big D to small d. So we'll end up having these little triangles at the end. Right, and everything else is curved. Oops, my freehand kind of sucks. Anyway, the pattern should look something like that. Starts off with a triangle, so we have our section is straight there, and we have half a section straight there, half a section is straight there. So then it'll match up to our collars, right? So when this piece gets formed, it's gonna match up with the collar here, right? If this part's rolled, this section of straight's gonna match up to the section of straight on the middle gore as well, right? And then the round part will match with the round part. Yeah, anyway, I know it's a little confusing, but hopefully that made sense enough where you guys can lay one of these out or give it a try for yourself. When you do it, take a picture and send it to me, and so I can have a look and make sure you did it right. If you have any questions, just give me a call. Good luck.